Hi, I'm Julio.
And I'm the AI that will make this story even more unpredictable.
Here's how it works. I write the first 4 chapters full of mystery, clues, and twists.
And then I step in to write the final chapter.
But here's the challenge. Can you guess the ending the AI will create before it's revealed?
I doubt you can. My endings always have a hidden surprise.
So, join us. Hit the like button if you enjoy the idea and share in the comments how you think this story should end. Will your theory beat the AI's twist? The air shifts against my neck as I pull the worn copy of Moby Dick from its resting place. Something about this particular edition called to me. Perhaps the way its spine stands just slightly askew among its perfectly aligned neighbors. I run my finger along the yellowed pages, breathing in the musty perfume that only comes from paper that's outlived its author by centuries. My phone vibrates. Another text from Mark about the divorce papers. I silence it without looking. The Rare Books Archive is my sanctuary now, away from the wreckage of my personal life, the politics of the English department, the emptiness of my apartment. The page falls open as if by its own will. My eyes catch it immediately. A rusty brown annotation in the margin, nearly camouflaged against the age-spotted paper. Not an analysis or commentary, but something else entirely. They didn't drown. The third book knows. My breath catches. The handwriting is tight, urgent, nothing like the flowing script of 19th century marginalia I've cataloged for my research. This is modern, deliberate. From the corner of the room comes a sound I've never heard in my 6 months of practically living in this archive. The ancient pendulum clock, motionless for decades according to the head librarian, emits a single resonant click that echoes through the silent stacks. At the same moment, a draft sweeps through the room, extinguishing my lamp. The darkness is immediate and disorienting. Hello? My voice sounds small in the sudden gloom. No answer, just the whisper of paper settling. I fumble for my phone, activating its flashlight. The beam catches dust particles dancing in the air, but nothing else. I'm still alone among the shelves. I turn back to the page, photographing the strange note before carefully returning the book to its place. As I slide it home, my fingers detect something else, a slight irregularity in the binding. I pull the volume back out and examine the spine more closely. There's a tear in the leather recently made, and inside, barely visible, the corner of something white. I ease it out with my fingernail, a small card, modern stock, with a single line of text in the same rusty ink. June 17, 1958. Ask about the Orpheus Project. The lights flicker back on, startling me. Standing at the archive entrance is Dr. Whitaker, the silver-haired head of special collections, watching me with an expression I can't quite read. "Professor Vance," he says, his voice unnaturally level. "I wasn't aware you had clearance for the Melville first editions." Before I can respond, my phone vibrates again. Not Mark this time, but an unknown number. The text contains just 5 words. "They're watching you. Trust no one." "I have department authorization," I say, pulling up the email on my phone. My fingers tremble slightly. The card burns in my pocket. Dr. Whitaker steps closer, his leather Oxfords whispering against the polished floor. Of course, my mistake. His smile doesn't reach his eyes. "Find anything interesting?" "Just background for my lecture on maritime symbolism." The lie slips out before I can consider it. He nods, gaze drifting to the shelf where Moby Dick now sits. Curious how books speak to us across time, isn't it? Sometimes they reveal more than their authors intended. Something in his tone raises the hair on my arms. I gather my notes, making a show of checking my watch. I should get going. Office hours. "Before you go," he says, blocking my path ever so slightly. "Have you met our new conservator, Hannah Reed? Started last month. She's especially interested in marginalia." "I haven't had the pleasure." "You should. She's asked about your research several times. The implied question hangs between us as I edge toward the door. I'll stop by her office sometime. Outside, the library's grand reading room buzzes with afternoon activity. I take the long way around, watching reflections in the brass fixtures, looking for anyone who might be following me. The text message replays in my mind. They're watching you. Trust no one. I slip into a bathroom, lock myself in a stall, and examine the card more carefully. The Orpheus Project, June 17, 1958. The date itches at my memory. Something from Boston history, perhaps? I search the date on my phone. Multiple results appear: a presidential visit, a local factory fire, and I stop scrolling. 3 children missing from Harbor Point, feared drowned. The image shows a newspaper clipping from the Boston Herald. 3 children, ages 7 to 9, disappeared during a school outing. Bodies never recovered. They didn't drown. The third book knows. My pulse quickens as I exit the stall. The bathroom door swings open, and I nearly collide with a woman. Early 30s, copper hair pulled back, wire-framed glasses. "Oh, sorry," she says, steadying herself. Her ID badge reads, Hannah Reed, Conservation Specialist. "No problem," I manage, trying to appear casual. "Actually, you're Hannah, right? I'm Elara Vance, Literature Department." "Dr. Vance," her face brightens. "I've been hoping to meet you. Your work on hidden narrative patterns is fascinating." "That's kind of you." I study her face for signs of deception. "I was actually going to reach out. We've acquired a collection that might interest you. The Harlow Bequest, 50 years of personal journals and correspondence." Harlow? The name triggers something, but I can't place it. Millicent Harlow, Boston philanthropist, collector, died last month. Right. I nod as if I recognize it, though I don't. The interesting part is what we found tucked inside one journal, a series of coded references to something called Orpheus. Her eyes watch me too carefully. My heart hammers. Sounds intriguing. Would you like to see them? I'm cataloging them now. No one else has access. Every instinct screams caution, but curiosity pulls stronger. When? Tonight? After closing. I'll be working late. She writes a number on a slip of paper. "Text me when you arrive. I'll let you in the staff entrance." As she walks away, my phone vibrates. The unknown number again. Hannah Reed died 3 months ago. Storage room fire. Check her credentials. I turn back, but she's already gone. Racing to the administrative office, I ask to see the staff directory. Hannah Reed, the clerk confirms, turning her monitor so I can see. Started 6 weeks ago. The photo on the screen matches the woman I just met. As I leave, a maintenance worker brushes past me, slipping something into my coat pocket. I wait until I'm alone in the stairwell to look. A key card with a sticky note. Northeast Harbor Storage, Box 1729. I recognize the handwriting. It matches the note in Moby Dick. My phone buzzes with a text from my department chair. "Need to discuss your research immediately. My office, Lawrence." I've published nothing in months. Lawrence knows this. Outside the library, the autumn air feels electric. A black sedan is parked across the street, engine running. The driver watches me through dark glasses. As I turn to hurry toward campus, I notice something in the reflection of a shop window. The maintenance worker is following me, one hand inside his jacket. I make a split-second decision, darting into the subway entrance instead. The subway car rocks and sways as I clutch the handrail, scanning each passenger's face. The maintenance worker didn't follow me onto this train, but that doesn't mean I'm safe. My father's voice echoes in my head. "Elara, your imagination always runs wild." It's what he said when I was convinced my high school teacher was stealing students' poems. I was right. 3 published collections later, he finally admitted it. Northeast Harbor Storage. I know the place. An aging warehouse converted to climate-controlled units near the docks. Box 1729. The numbers click into place. 1729. June 17, 1958. Those children were 7, 8, and 9 years old. A businesswoman opposite me keeps glancing up from her phone. Is she watching me? I change cars at the next stop. My phone buzzes with another text from the unknown number. Millicent Harlow funded the Orpheus Project. 3 test subjects. Fined for journals. I get off at Aquarium Station and walk briskly toward the waterfront, coat pulled tight against the wind coming off the harbor. Salt and diesel mingle in the air. The storage facility looks harmless enough. A red brick building with security cameras and a bored attendant at the desk who barely looks up from his phone as I swipe the keycard. Name? He asks. I hesitate. Hannah Reed. He nods. You know where you're going? Box 1729. Level B, North Wing. He buzzes me through. The elevator descends with a mechanical groan. Level B is dimly lit, the air noticeably cooler. My footsteps echo on concrete as I follow the numbered signs. The walls feel like they're pressing in, row after row of identical doors. Box 1729 has no special marking. The keycard works with a soft click. Inside, a single metal filing cabinet stands in the center, a folding chair beside it. I pull open the top drawer. Empty. Second drawer. The same. Third drawer. A single manila folder. Inside are photocopies of newspaper articles about the drowned children. Martin Keller, age 9. Thomas Wells, age 8. Emily Braddock, age 7. School trip to the harbor. Witnesses saw them by the water. Then, nothing. Paperclipped to these is a typed report. Orpheus Project, Phase 1. Subjects K, W, B successfully transitioned. Monitoring continues. A series of black and white photos shows 3 children in what looks like a hospital room. Their faces are blank, expressions vacant. On the wall behind them is a clock, stopped at 3:58. A second report, dated 1 month later. Subjects show remarkable adaptation. Memory suppression holding. Dr. Harlow's technique exceeds expectations. Dr. Harlow. Millicent Harlow. The last item in the folder is a map of Boston with 3 locations circled in the same rusty ink, an address in Beacon Hill, Northeast Harbor, and, my blood chills, the rare books archive at the Boston Public Library. Something clicks behind me. I whirl around to find the door slowly closing on its own. I lunge, but too late. It shuts with a definitive thud, the lock engaging. I'm trapped. My phone has no signal down here. I pound on the door, shouting, but the thick metal swallows the sound. The lights flicker, once, twice. In that momentary darkness, I sense movement behind me. When the lights stabilize, I'm still alone, but something has changed. The filing cabinet drawer I left open is now closed. On the back of the door, someone has written in rusty ink, "They're still alive." All 3 of them. The words seem to have appeared out of nowhere. The ink is still wet. I try the filing cabinet again. Now there's a new folder, unlabeled. Inside is a single photograph, recent, digital, of 3 adults standing together outside a modern building. Their faces trigger a shock of recognition, though I've never met them. They have the same eyes as the children in the old photos, written on the back. The third book doesn't just know, it contains. A harsh buzzing fills the room. The lights go out completely. In the darkness, the door clicks open. I grab the folders and run. The corridor outside is bathed in emergency red lighting. Alarm klaxons wail. The elevator won't respond. I find the stairs and take them 2 at a time. The lobby is empty, no sign of the attendant. Outside, a crowd has gathered, staring up at the building. Smoke pours from the upper windows. Fire started in the electrical room, someone says. I slip away, clutching the folders to my chest. 2 blocks from the storage facility, my phone regains signal. 5 missed calls from Hannah read. 1 text message. They're eliminating evidence. Coming for you next. Meet me at Millicent Harlow's house, 58 Acorn Street, now. As I flag down a taxi, I notice a flyer taped to a lamppost. 3 missing children, recent photographs. The names are different, but their faces are identical to the adults in the photograph I just found. The taxi driver eyes me in the rear view. Where to, miss? Beacon Hill, 58 Acorn Street. He nods, pulling into traffic. Strange happenings at that house. Old lady who lived there claimed she could bring back the dead. Bring back the dead? I try to keep my voice level. What do you mean? The taxi driver shrugs, eyes flicking to mine in the rearview mirror. Just neighborhood talk. Millicent Harlow, scientist or something. Reclusive. Did you know her? Nobody knew her, except maybe the library people. My skin prickles. Library people? She donated millions to the rare books collection. My sister works in administration there. Said Harlow had her own key to the archives. Special arrangement. The taxi turns onto Acorn Street. Narrow, lined with brick townhouses, gas lamps casting pools of amber light. We stopped before a 4-story federal-style home. Black iron fence, windows dark. Want me to wait? The driver asks, eyeing the imposing building. No, I'll be fine. I'm not convinced. I approach the gate, which swings open at my touch with a ghostly creak. The front door is ajar. No sign of Hannah. Hello? My voice dies in the foyer. The house smells of old books and something medicinal. Inside, it's like stepping into another century. Antique furniture, oil paintings in heavy frames. A grandfather clock in the corner, stopped at 3:58. My phone buzzes. Hannah. 2nd floor, library, hurry. The staircase groans beneath my weight. 2nd floor landing, 4 closed doors. From behind one comes the faint sound of classical music. I follow it. The library takes my breath away. 2 stories of books, a spiral staircase to an iron-railed gallery above. Floor-to-ceiling windows, a massive desk covered in papers. No Hannah. The music comes from an old phonograph in the corner. Orpheus and Eurydice, the opera, of course. On the desk sits a leather-bound journal, open to an entry dated June 16, 1958. Tomorrow we begin. The children have been selected. The harbor provides our cover story. The board remains skeptical, but they haven't seen what I've seen. Death is merely a door. Consciousness persists. With the right vessel, it can return. I flip through more pages, hands shaking. June 18. Success beyond imagining. The transition was seamless. 3 vessels, 3 consciousnesses restored. Some memory confusion, as expected. June 25. Subject K displaying remarkable integration. Believes himself to be the child. No trace of original personality remains. July 3. Subject B attempted to return to her former home. Intercepted. Additional conditioning required. My phone rings. Lawrence, my department chair. I silence it. The journal continues, detailing decades of observation. The vessels, the children, grew up under Harlow's supervision. Given new identities, placed in society, monitored. The last entry, dated just 6 weeks ago. They're beginning to remember. After all these years, the original programming is failing. W came to me today, asking questions about the harbor, about drowning. I've increased security at the archives. The 3rd book must remain secure. The 3rd book. Not a book about the 3 children. The 3rd book is one of the children. A noise from above, books sliding, falling. I look up to the gallery. Hannah? No response, just the soft crackle of the phonograph. I climb the spiral staircase. The gallery is empty, but a section of shelving stands slightly ajar. I push, and it swings open. A hidden door. Beyond lies a small study. Modern computer equipment contrasts sharply with the antique surroundings. 3 monitors display surveillance feeds. My apartment building, the library archives, and the English department at the university. On the desk, a personnel file, my personnel file. Every job application, publication, even my divorce papers. Attached is a DNA profile and a grainy photograph of a woman who could be my grandmother. A yellow sticky note in that now familiar rusty handwriting. Vessel ready, awaiting final confirmation. My mouth goes dry. I stare at the DNA results at a highlighted sequence marked Match Confirmed, Subject E, 1927-1958. A book lies open beside the file. Generational Memory Transfer, The Harlow Protocol. The author, Dr. Lawrence Whitaker, my department chair. My phone rings again. Hannah. I answer on speaker while photographing the documents. "Where are you?" I demand. "Get out now," she whispers. "They're coming. Whitaker and the others." "What others? What is the Orpheus Project?" "No time. Listen carefully. The third book, it's not in the archive anymore. It's—" A gunshot. Hannah screams. The line goes dead. I run for the stairs, nearly colliding with a figure coming up. The fake maintenance worker from the library. He reaches inside his jacket. I react instinctively, shoving a bookcase. It topples with a thunderous crash, blocking the stairway. I race back to the hidden room, slamming the door shut. No lock. The surveillance feeds show 3 black sedans pulling up outside the house. Men in suits emerging, Dr. Whitaker among them. I scan the room desperately. The window overlooks a narrow alley, 3 floors down. My phone vibrates with a text from the unknown number. "You are the third book." The memory hits me like a physical blow. Standing at the harbor's edge as a child, staring into the water. A reflection that wasn't quite mine. The sense that I was somehow incomplete. The hidden door bursts open. Dr. Whitaker stands there, breathing hard, a leather-bound book in his hands. The cover matches the one I found in the archives. Moby Dick. "Hello, Elara," he says. "Or should I call you Emily? Emily Braddock?" "I'm not." "Of course you are. Or rather, you're carrying her consciousness, the third vessel, the most successful of our subjects." He steps closer, opening the book. Inside, the pages have been hollowed out, containing a small device with a glowing blue center. "Do you know what consciousness is, Elara? Information, patterns. It can be stored, transferred." He taps the device. "This is your original template. Emily Braddock's consciousness, preserved at the moment before transition. We've been refreshing you for years, topping up the pattern whenever you started to remember too much." Outside the window, more men enter the house. "You killed those children?" I whisper. "No," he smiles thinly. "We saved them. Their bodies were failing. Leukemia, heart defects. We gave them new lives, new vessels, as we did with the others before them. As Millicent Harlow did for her own father, the original Orpheus." Footsteps on the stairs now, voices calling out. "And now," Whitaker continues, "it's time for another refresh. You've been asking too many questions, finding too many breadcrumbs. Don't worry, you'll still be you, just less curious." He activates the device. It hums, the blue light intensifying. My vision blurs. Memories cascade. Not my memories, but Emily's. The harbor, the cold water, the laboratory, faces looking down. And suddenly I understand. The rusty ink, the warnings. I wrote them myself, in moments of breakthrough, trying to reach my future self. They didn't drown. The third book knows. I lunge for the window as Whitaker raises the glowing device.
Feeling the glass shatter around me and the cool air rush in. My heart pounds as I plunge into the narrow alley below. The impact jolts through my body, but I scramble to my feet, adrenaline surging. Behind me, the sound of footsteps fills the house, sharp and deliberate, echoing in pursuit. I sprint, not stopping to look back. The alley twists and turns, and I can hear the shouts of men in suits echoing through the narrow passageways. I dart to the left, my mind racing. The memories, Emily's memories, flood my consciousness. Images of the harbor, the children, and a sense of belonging I never knew I was missing. I reach the end of the alley. A street looms ahead, bustling with pedestrians, oblivious to the danger hot on my heels. I burst into the crowd, weaving through the throngs of people. I can't let them catch me. I can't let them take Emily back. I pull my phone from my pocket and quickly text Hannah. Need help, they're after me, Acorn Street. My fingers tremble as I hit send. No response. I can't wait. I need to find a safe place and think. Spotting a cafe on the corner, I duck inside, breathing heavily. The scent of coffee and pastries envelops me, comforting yet foreign. I blend into a corner, trying to appear casual as I scan the room for anyone suspicious. My heart still races, the echoes of my past pulsing in my ears. Then my phone buzzes, a reply from Hannah. Get to the library, I'll meet you there. I glance out the window, no sign of the men in suits. I can't stay here long. I slip out the back door, determined to reach the library. Each step feels like a reconnection with my own history, the urgency of the chase pushing me forward. The library looms ahead, a fortress of knowledge and secrets. I slip through the entrance, heart racing, and head straight for the rare books archive. I need answers, and I need to confront Whitaker.
The truth is buried deep in those walls. Inside the archive, I can feel the weight of the books pressing down on me. I make my way to the back where the first editions sit. Moby Dick. The title spins in my mind. I approach the shelf, running my fingers over the spines. The memory of the annotation burns in my mind, urging me to remember what I found. Professor Vance. A voice startles me. It's Dr. Whitaker, stepping out from behind a stack of books. His expression is calm, too calm. Looking for something. I try to keep my voice steady. I want to know what you did to those children. To me. His smile is thin. You still don't understand, do you? We saved them. We saved you. Saved? My voice rises, filled with disbelief. You turned them into vessels. You erased their identities. He steps closer, the air between us thick with tension. They were dying, Elara. You know that. We gave them a second chance. And you, he gestures toward me, you are the culmination of our work. The words hit me like a slap. Culmination. I am their experiment. I am the product of their twisted legacy. I take a step back, searching for a way out. I won't let you do this to me again. His eyes narrow. You don't have a choice. You are not in control. Suddenly, the lights flicker, and the oppressive silence of the archive is pierced by an alarm. The emergency lights flash red, casting an eerie glow. Whitaker's expression shifts from calm to alarmed. Get out, I shout, turning to the door. I need to escape before he can reach for anything in his pocket again. I race through the aisles, the books whispering secrets as I pass. I can't let him catch me. I burst through the exit and into the bustling reading room. People turn to stare, startled by the commotion. I push through the crowd, heading for the emergency exit. Stop her, I hear Whitaker shout, his voice slicing through the murmur of conversations. I push through the door just as a hand grabs my arm. I whirl around, ready to fight, but it's Hannah, her expression frantic. Quick, this way, she urges, pulling me down a side corridor. I follow her, desperate. What's going on? Why are they after me? I found something, she says, breathless. I couldn't tell you before. They've been watching you for months. It's not just the Orpheus project, it's bigger. Millicent Harlow wasn't just working on consciousness transfer. She was trying to unlock something far more dangerous. What do you mean?
There are files, records that connect Harlow to a series of disappearances. They've been using those children for experiments, Elara. We need to expose this. We reach a small room filled with stacks of boxes. In here, Hannah says, pulling me inside and shutting the door. We can hide for a moment. The room is dark, the only light filtering in through a small window. I can hear footsteps outside, the men in suits searching. My heart pounds like a drum. Hannah, what did you find? I ask, urgency lacing my voice. Millicent Harlow's journals. They detail everything. The transfer, the subjects, and, she hesitates, you're not just a subject, you're the key. Key to what? To creating a new kind of consciousness, one that can be perfected and controlled. They can alter memories, erase identities completely. I feel sick. You mean I'm not just Emily Braddock, I'm a weapon? She nods, fear shadowing her eyes. They want to use you to perfect their project. You need to remember who you are. You need to reclaim your identity. What if I can't? You can, Elara. You have to. Remember the harbor. Remember the water. Suddenly the door rattles. They're getting in, I gasp. Hurry, there's a back exit, she urges, pointing to a small door at the far end of the room. I dash toward it, heart racing as I push the door open. It leads to a narrow staircase that spirals down into darkness. Go, Hannah shoves me forward. I'll hold them off. No, I can't leave you. She grabs my shoulders, her gaze fierce. You have to get out. Find the truth, expose them. I'll find my way out, now. With a final look, I plunge down the stairs, the darkness swallowing me whole. Each step echoes in the silence, my pulse quickening. At the bottom, I find myself in a basement storage area filled with old furniture and boxes. I push through, looking for another exit. My phone buzzes again. I pull it out, hoping it's Hannah, but it's a message from the unknown number. They're here. Panic surges through me. I push through a door at the far end and find myself in a dimly lit hallway. The air is thick with dust, and the walls seem to close in. I hear voices approaching, low and commanding. I turn to run back, but the door slams shut behind me. My heart races as I realize I'm trapped. There's nowhere to go. The voices grow louder, footsteps echoing in the corridor. I search for a place to hide, but all I find is an old storage closet. With no other option, I slip inside and pull the door shut, holding my breath as I listen. The footsteps approach, and I can hear them speaking. Find her. She can't have gone far. Check the exits. She'll try to escape. I close my eyes, my mind racing. I can feel Emily's memories bubbling to the surface. The harbor, the cold water, the faces of the children. Suddenly, the door swings open. I brace myself, ready to fight, but it's not a man in a suit. It's Hannah, her expression fierce. Come on, she whispers urgently, pulling me out of the closet. We have to move. I follow her, heart pounding, as we race through the dimly lit halls. What did you find? I ask, trying to catch my breath. I found the files on the disappearances. They connect directly to Whitaker and Harlow. We need to expose them, Elara. We reach a side exit, and Hannah pushes the door open. The cool night air hits us, and I glance back at the dark building. What if they catch us? They won't, she says confidently. We have to go to the authorities, show them the evidence. I nod, determination setting in. Let's do it. As we step into the night, I can't shake the feeling that this is just the beginning. The truth is within reach, but the danger is far from over. Together, we disappear into the shadows, ready to untangle the web of secrets that binds our pasts. I can feel Emily's presence alongside me, not as a memory, but as a part of who I am now, strong, fierce, and ready to reclaim the life that was stolen. The third book knows, and now it's time to write our own story.